time ago, as the third wave, we understand, is underway of missiles from Iran, 1,000+ miles, sent into Tel Aviv, and we're told that third wave, and as we have had it described, about 100 missiles at a time that are being launched from mobile missile systems in Iran that can move from one place to another, obviously, and can fire about 100 at a time. So that's how Israel gets a pretty good sense when a wave is over, because they can detail how much incoming they have seen so far and whether or not they're going to be a bit of a pause. So with that, I would like to bring in former Republican Congressman Mike Gallagher. Served in the Marine Corps as an intelligence officer, deployed twice to Iraq, and is now head of defense at Palantir Technologies. Mike, very good to have you with us. Thank you for joining us today. Your reaction to what we are watching unfold here in Israel and Iran?
Well, I think you're witnessing the end of decades of deception on the part of the Iranian regime. For decades, they've used the cover of diplomacy, negotiation to advance their nuclear program, and then a combination of the new administration coming in, President Trump giving the Iranians 60 days to come to the table, as well as the IAEA making disclosures about the fact that they were essentially abandoning any commitments, which we've actually long known, resulted in the jig being up, and now they're facing devastating consequences. And I think beyond the physical destruction that Israel's attacks have imposed, there is a sort of mental destruction underway, right? Taking out key leadership in the IRGC, taking out 8 of the 13 top Iranian scientists, right? It is not easy to reconstitute that level of technical prowess and capability when you're trying to build a nuclear weapons program, as well as the psychological effect of Israel being able to deploy innovative drone capabilities inside of Iran to add to this attack. So I think the consequences for Iran are going to be long-lasting. I do think we've set the nuclear program back, but this is the early stage of what will be a multi-phase, complex back and forth, and important that we, America, stand firmly behind our closest ally in the Middle East, Israel.
So we are just getting word, you can see on the bottom of our screen, that the U.S. is assisting Israel in shooting down missiles. We saw this back in October. We saw Jordanian involvement as well. And you're hearing voices on the street in the background here. But your reaction to sort of the unfolding narrative of how much the United States is involved in what we're watching right now?
Well, I think it's absolutely appropriate for the United States to continue to help the Israelis reconstitute the Iron Dome missile system, fundamentally a defensive system. Obviously, it's appropriate for us to share information, to share sensitive intelligence. Based on everything I've seen in open source, we did not participate offensively in the attack. Israel made the decision to take a strike because they viewed an existential threat from the Iranian regime. And make no mistake, for the critics of Israel, the Iranian regime is trying to develop a nuclear weapon in order to wipe Israel off the face of the earth. And many countries have struggled with how to deal with this very complex phenomenon. And ultimately, Israel had to take kinetic action in order to defend itself from being wiped off the map from the world's leading state sponsor of terrorism. So again, I think we should also be grateful that we've built out a historic level of rapprochement between Israel and the Sunni Arab Gulf countries. And these have had complex relationships, but the president's recent trip to the Gulf was very useful in that it enhanced our ties with Saudi Arabia, with the Emirates, and the more we can do to facilitate and build off of the framework of the Abraham Accords, the more it redounds to Israel's security and our own national security interests, even if we construe them narrowly.
Absolutely. Mike Gallagher, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Palantir head of defense, former congressman, of course, and former and a Marine as well, I should say. Good to see you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.